SMARTERFAN. SMARTERFAN. Yeah. SMARTERFAN.
We are back. Smarter Fan Podcast. It's your guys, Barry and Joe, and we're here to stir it up again. Another Wednesday. We're here, and we got a lot to talk about, Joe. We got a lot to talk about. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm doing all right.
Okay. It looks like you had a few Michelob Lights or something, but you're okay.
Nah. I don't do that during the week.
I got you, buddy. I got you. Hey, tonight I got some hot things I gotta press you because I've been continually following the Angel Reese, Caitlin, Iowa, LSU. But you know me, I gotta look under the rug, I gotta look in the closet, and let's really have a conversation. And the conversation I think is I keep seeing people posting about what Angel Reese is making off her NIL deals. And I have a problem with that. I really do. Because I don't think you should be counting other people's pockets, for one. And the other issue is, well, let's have a deeper conversation. What has LSU made? What has Iowa made? What has the Sweet 16 teams made? Where's that money?
Yeah.
And why aren't the majority of the athletes, all of the athletes, getting a piece of that?
Yeah.
Besides, and in addition to NIL, because I do know some college presidents, I do know some college administrators and trustees. So they've told me the amount of money that's being generated by these student athletes. And I think, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah.
I think that's a far more, where's that money? Because we all know, right? 95% of those players are not going pro. If for nothing else, there ain't enough jobs, Joe. There ain't enough jobs, right? Two, of the 5% that make it, 3 of those 5 will not have probably a career longer than 4 years, and maybe 1 may have a 10-year career. But
okay, now let me ask you this.
Sure.
Now, do they get paid for their likeness?
And on an NIL?
Yeah.
It depends.
Okay. Yeah.
Like,
because I
it
know
depends
they had
if you're advertising a particular product or service or something.
Right.
Then,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Because I know there was a big to do about them getting paid for that.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure how it worked, but certain athletes were getting paid for their likeness.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people say, and been in conversations with people say, it's not, it shouldn't happen. It's going to create division. No, it doesn't create any division. Not if you give all the players a piece of the pot that they're generating. I mean, let's just be conservative. Let's just say LSU and Iowa made $25 million, goes to the university.
Mm-hmm.
You telling me each of those young ladies shouldn't get a piece of that for each year of eligibility and playing and so forth and so on?
Right.
Who've contributed to making that money. The university didn't make the money. The girls made the money. The LSU boys didn't go to the final. The girls did.
Right.
And I, I'm always a proponent of, why aren't they getting $10,000 every year, so that they're leaving school with hopefully $100,000 or more, whether they get an NIL deal or not. There's plenty of money on the table, but
and
I
that's
see a
not
lot
even mentioning their education.
What's that?
I said that's not even mentioning their education.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, like I know some players get there on scholarships,
Yep.
you know, and they just how can I put it? Well, yeah, yes. Some get there on scholarships. Some get there, I guess, through their parents, whatever, who
Hmm.
got money, whatever.
Some walk
And
on. Hmm.
yeah, and so I just wonder how much emphasis is being put on education.
You bring up a good point, and you bring up my second. You've been reading my notes. That's my second point, because I believe, because the girls or the boys or the student athletes have earned it, and the
Yeah.
NCAA hasn't done anything innovative in 50 years. If you're
Hmm.
a student athlete in these times for the last 25 years, you're really a professional athlete. The amount of
Yeah.
training and things you have to go through, you're a professional athlete. It's not recreation. It's a
Yeah.
business, and that's all the more to my point is that the NCAA should be allowing these young people to have 2 years of academic eligibility after their playing years fully paid for, because guess what? They earned it.
Yeah.
They earned it. So, they should have at least 2 to 3 years of academic eligibility to continue their education, because we already know 95% of them are not going pro, right? But
Yeah.
they've made a tremendous sacrifice trying to balance books, trying to balance a pro career while in college.
Yeah.
And, when their playing days over, they should be given the ability to continue their academic pursuits without the pressure of playing.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
just my
Yeah.
2 cents.
Yeah. Well,
And they've
you
earned
see
it.
a lot of players now, um, like just for example, Emmett Smith. He
Hmm.
promised his family that he would go back to school once
Yep.
he finished playing, and that's what he did. But that was after he finished playing. So
Yeah. In the
you know,
NFL. Yeah.
yeah,
Because
right,
it's a
yeah, yeah,
business. You're
yeah,
you're 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 20 years old, 19 years old in business. You're an entrepreneur. You're a startup,
right,
right? And every year, someone younger, stronger, and faster is coming for your spot.
mm,
You know what I mean? And there are
yeah,
things you don't control, like coaches, scheme. There's
yeah.
a lot you don't control as a player.
You know,
And you know,
but what's the other thing is what they were doing in the with the men's basketball, where they could come out early to go pro. It was what is it? What did they call it? Was it the one and done or something like that?
yeah, they kind of
Because
nixed that.
Coach K kind of was pushing that, you know.
Yeah, yeah, in order to keep the college game exciting, right? So you kind of extend the players, for him to have collegiate eligibility, to sell TV, to sell product, to sell, right?
Right,
Because you know, I imagine what the numbers were when Zion Williams was playing for Duke, and
right,
how much money they generated from him playing just that one year.
right. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
And then he came out right after that. No,
he came out, you
yeah,
know, and there's a lot, like, exactly to my point. He hasn't been able to get on the floor on a consistent basis,
mm,
and those are some
yeah,
of the things that happen.
yeah,
There's adjustments you got to make, and it's you're playing with grown men. It's a business, and that's hard to manage at 18, 19 years old, and people, you're being evaluated in a different way, you know,
yeah,
it's different, and
yeah.
it's sometimes it can be personal, because it's about money and return on
Huh.
investment.
Wasn't he the one that blew his sneakers out playing in the game?
Yeah, yeah, that was, wow, that was something else.
Yeah, it's like he blew his sneakers out. So.
Yeah, that was
And
mm-hmm.
well, that brings me back to your other point about education. These guys are going to college, I guess, for supposedly 4 years, and then going pro in two.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that's a problem? I don't.
No, if that's what you want to do, if you want to go pro and to make the money,
Mm-hmm.
that's fine if that's what you want to do. But like I said, what about your education?
Well, my feeling is back to what we started with the NIL. I like what Angel Reese said. Hey,
Mm,
I mean, why do kids leave early? Because they're trying to feed their family. They're trying to
mm,
improve their economic situation. That's why you're leaving early. There's nothing
yeah,
against the collegiate experience. Is that I'm trying
right,
to feed my family. I'm trying to, take care of
right.
mama. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
you
I know what you're
can't,
saying.
people tend to forget that and think it's just all about money. No. And I mean, I love what Angel Reese said, which echoes millions of athletes. I'm not going because I'm making so much money in college that I'm
Uh-huh.
able to enjoy my collegiate experience and stay and so forth. I mean, imagine, I don't know if it's ever happened, but has there ever been I'm sure there's been a repeat national championship, but I don't know if there's anybody that's ever done it a three-peat. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And she has a legitimate shot of pulling that off.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, that would put her or any student athlete in a whole other trajectory,
Oh,
right?
no doubt, no doubt.
You know, and because there is nothing like the college game, the excitement and all that goes with it. But like I
Yeah,
said, you know, if they gave up some of that money that they're making, more of these athletes could stay, grow, mature, because sometimes it's not good for you to come out too early. You know what I mean?
no,
You
yeah,
know, you need some seasoning because it's a different game. You're playing with grown men or grown
right,
women paying mortgages. It's a different going from a college student with a backpack to like I'm jumping on a plane, I'm responsible, da da da. It's a different grind. And
right,
you need some time to adjust. And a lot of
right.
number ones, uh, you know, can't adjust. It's a difficult process. It's not
It is.
easy.
It is.
It's
It is.
not
It's a
easy.
big transition, I think.
Say it
It's
again.
a
I'm
big.
sorry.
It's a big transition.
Oh, it's huge. People, it's like when I hear people call athletes that don't work out a bust or they're negative. 99% of those people couldn't even make it through a practice, much
Yeah.
less make a team. And they're like, who gave you authority to call anyone a bust? Do you know how many other athletes tried to make the team that didn't? And you
Yeah.
can't even make your elementary school team, much less your high school team, and you calling this professional athlete a bust?
Well, what
You
is it
know,
like? Is it 17% make it to the NFL?
if that many.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
mean, if
17.
you, yeah, I mean, if you look at, the feed, I was looking at the feeds today. This number three pick, this number one pick, moving from this team to that team, and so forth.
Right.
But I don't want to get stuck there. I
Right.
wanted to
Yeah.
talk a little bit about the Reggie Jackson, number 44, Mr. October, Mr.
Yes.
Oakland A's, Mr. New York Yankees. Listen,
Yeah.
folks, if you have not seen his documentary on Prime Video, you are missing a treat. I don't
Yeah. I
even
gotta
want to
check it
ruin
out.
it for you.
I
If
gotta
you
check
love
it out.
baseball, if you love sports, if you love the history, if you love angles, if you love to hear from it is it needs to win an award. It
And what's
needs
it
to
called?
win some kind of award.
What's it called?
Mhm. Reggie.
It's just called Reggie.
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
gotta look that up.
yeah, yeah. I
I've
definitely
met
wanted to
him a
get
couple
in.
of times.
I definitely wanted to get in, but I don't want to hog up the show. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I was like, I wanted to touch on, Mike McCarthy calling the plays for the Cowboys. I mean, they have a offensive coordinator. I don't know what his role is going to be if
Hmm.
McCarthy is going to call the plays. Um,
You sound
I mean,
nervous. You sound
I,
nervous.
I'm what am I? Cautiously optimistic. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Okay.
And I mean, I didn't really care for the boy genius, you know,
No.
and the last 2 years in the playoffs have been totally bizarre the way they ended.
Yeah.
So I'm not, I don't miss him. I'm not going to miss him, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but
Are
I
you are
don't,
you saying? Hold on, Steve. Are you saying? Because I know we're coming to that point. I gotta get you. I gotta find out where your commitment is. Are you saying that the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl?
no,
Okay.
no,
I had to get that out of the way. Okay.
no, no, because I mean, they keep stumbling in sometimes, most of the time, they don't even get out of the first round of the playoffs, and then
Yeah.
they get to the second tier, and they run up against a buzzsaw like the 49ers,
Yeah.
you know, and and they falter. They snap under the pressure,
Yeah.
as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
I gotta throw this in. I gotta throw it in. Shannon has been going at Cam Newton, and I just gotta say for the record, Shannon is wrong. He's looking at
Okay,
it all wrong. Cam can
what did he
definitely
say?
back up it. Well, he keeps saying that Cam is too prideful. Cam, is just it's done. He needs to hang it up. Blah 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 blah. And I think what Shannon is missing is that you cannot tell me if the 49ers had Cam Newton that they wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. Am I
Hmm.
saying that Cam Newton is somebody you're going to build your franchise on? Not at this point of his career, but can
No.
he win me games? If I'm an owner, can he win me games? Can he bring another energy at 33 years old that allows us to be in a position that something happens, or he can give me that energy to get us some wins? Oh, that Cam Newton is absolutely right. He's better than most 32 quarterbacks to do that job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would I have him run my, invest like a long term? No, he's not there anymore. But can he help me win? Absolutely. That's I just had to put that in, Steve, because Shannon been
Hmm.
going at him, and I think Shannon is missing the point, which is Cam Newton is better than at least 15 of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL. He is.
Well, as far as Shannon is concerned, I enjoy watching him slap Skip Clueless down. He just slaps him down all the time.
Yeah,
So
it is entertaining.
yes, yes.
It is entertaining.
So,
But
but
I just had to say that, I'm a
hmm
big Cam fan. Um, and yeah, I think you're going to tell me he couldn't help the Commanders win? He couldn't help, even if you had a starter in, you telling me he is a backup with his experience being an MVP, going to a Super Bowl, can't help a younger quarterback? That's ridiculous. Of course he
I'm
can.
sure he can.
Yeah,
Sure he can. You
yeah.
know,
I mean, what did
there's
the
the right situation for every quarterback.
absolutely? I mean, I mean, I had to tell that to somebody. I said, all right, you saw what happened to the 49ers. Are you telling me that if Cam was an option, they wouldn't have won?
Hmm.
Oh, they would have won. And as I always said, I only need him for a quarter. I only need him for a half. I don't
Right.
I don't need him, I don't need him to be Patrick Mahomes. I just
Yeah.
need that MVP to be an MVP for a quarter.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
That's all I need.
hey, it worked for Nick Foles.
Exactly my point. I rest my case. I rest my case, my friend.
Yeah.
I rest
So
my case. But I look forward to what you're going to present on the Negro Leads next week. That is going to be exciting. You shared a little bit
yeah.
with me today about that, and I have a very big heart, soft spot for the Negro League players and what they
Yes.
added to baseball. And again,
Yes.
folks, please go to Prime Video. Please watch that special on Reggie Jackson. It 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 is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, well, well done. I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm
he
gonna
covered
definitely check
every
that out.
base. He covered
Yeah.
every base plus.
Yeah.
And to
Yeah. Like,
me,
like I said, I've met him a couple of times.
you did.
Yeah, I've met him a couple of times in Cooperstown.
Wow,
Um,
how was
yeah, I
that?
actually have pictures of him with my son.
Reggie
Yeah.
Jackson?
Yeah. Yeah. I have
What?
pictures. Yeah, Reggie. Yeah, I got pictures of Reggie with my son. I mean, I paid for him, but
Wow.
he took pictures with him.
Wow, that is awesome. I
Yeah,
have to get my
yeah,
butt up to Cooperstown. What's going on?
yeah.
Wow.
We've been going since 19. I think since '99 we've been going up there for Hall of
Wow.
Fame weekend. We haven't the last
Wow.
few years because of COVID, but
Wow. Yeah,
so
Reggie's been one of my all-time favorites.
yeah,
Yeah, I call 1977 one of the best years of my life. My Cowboys won and my Yankees won.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
And Reggie hit those 3 home runs on my brother's birthday.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So
Wow. Well, folks,
hey,
it's been another show. It's number 2 already. I can't believe it, Steve. We just climbing up this mountain pretty fast. We're already into our second episode, headed to our third. Man, this has been exciting tonight, folks. Hey, keep tuning in to Smarter Fan Podcast. We're gonna keep bringing the smoke. We didn't even get into boxing. We didn't even get into UFC. We didn't even get into Javante Davis and Ryan Garcia's big fight this weekend. I mean, we cover it all here on Smarter
yeah,
Fan
but
Podcast.
the
So you're gonna get all
UFC
the
and the
smoke.
WWE,
Huh? What's
the
that?
UFC and the UFC just bought out the WWE.
No way.
So does that mean
Really?
they're going to cross over?
Man, I can't keep up with you, Steve. I didn't even hear that. Really?
Yeah, that I think that just happened last week.
What?
Vince McMahon's still going to be the CEO, but
What?
yeah, the UFC bought out the WWE.
Who would have ever thought that?
Well, that
That
puts
Dana
Ronda
White?
Rousey back in the picture.
Really?
Yeah, because she
Who
went
would have?
over to the WWE.
Wow.
Yeah,
See,
that's where
folks,
Ronda Rousey's been.
see, this is why
So
y'all have to tune in to Smarter Fan Podcast. You just never know what you're gonna learn, hear, find out. You're gonna get it all here. You're gonna get it all here. Oh
yes, you
my
will.
goodness. Awesome. 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 What do you know? Because I saw it. I said, Vince is back?
Yeah, he's
And I
back.
said, what? And I said, now you're telling me, wow. But this is a big fight weekend, man. Javante Davis and Ryan Garcia. That fight could be a trilogy. That could be a
Right.
3 fight. Because I think somebody
Mhm.
getting knocked out. I don't know who, but my money is on Tank. But you can't
Right.
sleep on Ryan. You can't sleep on him. And I always feel that if it goes past 6 rounds, it really starts to favor Tank because
Wow.
you just can't continue to take that pounding that he gives you. So the longer
Right.
you're in there with him, it's going to be some smoke.
Well,
But
I have to admit, I haven't followed boxing in a while, but that's another story for another time.
man, I'm going to buy you some gloves for your birthday. You need some boxing gloves. Come on, man. Get back in the ring, man. Come on. I love boxing.
Yeah.
Love it. But
Oh, I
again,
did too, but I haven't followed it since the Klitschko brothers.
oh boy, I gotta dust you off, man. The Klitschko brothers. Oh my goodness, man,
Well, like I said, that's a story for another time.
man. Those two brothers are back in Russia, rocking their rocking chairs, and you talking about the Klitschko brothers. What are you talking about?
Like I
Anyway,
said, that was the last time it was legit for me.
I hear you. I hear you. But again, fans, Smarter Fan Podcast coming at you, always covering the world of sports and money and opportunity and perspectives you're not going to hear anywhere else. Thanks again. See you next week.
All right. Thank you.
SMARTERFAN.